But this purple is really a neat color. My mom would dig this. All right, here we are again. Today what I have for you is the WeCreat Lumos. And I'm kind of excited to check this one out. It's billed as a laser with a 3-watt IR laser and a 10-watt blue diode laser. What I'm going to do now is going to go ahead and open this up, then we'll get into it and I'll tell you a little bit about this. I'm going to stop here real quick and tell you this thing is very well packed. It's styrofoam in. I don't see it going anywhere. Very well done, WeCreat. This thing is in here. This is the laser module right here. Get it out. I gotta say, I love this purple. This is a pretty color. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna get this all put together. We'll come back and then we'll start testing this thing. Let me tell you about the attachments that come with it. The Lumos slide extension can increase your working area 4 times for larger projects. Something cool they say this can do, it can combine with a rotary and do longer cylindrical objects. This is the magnetic cone, which transforms your Lumos into a lightweight 2.3 kilogram handheld engraver. It has a magnetic snap-on design, no tools are required, and it also automatically sets ideal focal length for accurate engraving. This is one of the most important things you can buy with a laser. In fact, anytime a company wants me to check out one of their lasers and give it a review, I insist that they send me one of these air purifiers. This is the WeCreat AirGuard Cube Fume Extractor. The Rotary has an adjustable U-axis that lets you engrave ring interiors and angled surfaces. What that means is it pivots up and down. It pairs with the slide extension to make the world's first rotary extension combo. So this machine makes some pretty good claims of being able to do colored engraving on stainless steel. So what I want to do is go ahead and do a test grid on stainless steel to see how it works. And for that, I think I have a dog tag or something that we can use to get color on. It does engrave colors fairly well on stainless steel. So what I want to do now is go ahead and try it on slate coasters. They got some really good colors in there. You probably won't, there you go, focusing. Some really good colors on there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the blue light to do a little bit of testing on here, make it a little bit bigger. You can see it and see how it does. So I want to show you where this shows it's at, to where the blue line says it's at. It's not matching up. This is pretty high up on there. This is fairly low on there. So I would go by this and not what it looks like on the camera. I think now I want to do some testing on this wood that came with it and see how it engraves on this, and then we'll see if it'll cut this, and we'll just keep going on this testing. They're all in here pretty good. A little bit less up at the top than it is deeper at the bottom. But yeah, it looks really good. So let's go ahead and see how easily this thin stuff cuts, and then we'll try a little bit thicker stuff. So it cut through, had a little bit of trouble on part of it. Should have slowed it down a little bit more, but it cut pretty good right there. So we're going to try a little bit thicker material. This is a Galvo laser, and just like every other Galvo laser I've seen, let's see if it'll go in on it. There you go. You see how that's at an angle? That's what it's going to do when you cut stuff out. I don't usually use my Galvo lasers to cut stuff out. So, but as you saw, it did cut out pretty good. Let's go ahead and check out how a business card looks when it's been engraved with the IR laser. That's pretty good. I know you saw it there, but look at that. That looks pretty good. I left it, I think I had 33% power on this thing, and I just wanted to see how good it looked. Looks really good to me. Now let's try it on a piece of acrylic, black acrylic, and see how well it engraves on there, and then we'll see if it'll cut it. That little test came out really nice on that. Let's see if we can cut the acrylic. I don't know if we're going to be able to cut through 3mm, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Wow, that cut really good. I'm surprised at that. Wow, one pass. Now let's try some of the accessories out. Let's go ahead and try the Rotary first. All right. So I inverted this, but wow, it did really good with the IR. I'm excited to see how it does with the blue light. We're going to do that next. That came out fairly good. I haven't even cleaned it, but... So besides putting this thing backwards or opposite, I didn't know I had to do that in that program. It's a new program to me, but it looks really good. And to tell you the truth, the blue laser was a lot crisper around the letters. Here it is right there for this one. You can see the letters are not as crisp, but when you go to this one, the letters are a lot more crisp. I wanted you to hear how loud the air purifier was. You can hear me over this. It's not very loud at all. If I go on the other side of the tool, I can hear that, and it sounds muffled on the other side. So I just realized that's not the machine running because I haven't turned it on. It is the suction from this. Oh my goodness. Let's see how well it does. I'm going to do some engraving on this, and let's see how well the smoke gets sucked in. So that did very well. There's no smoke smell outside of here, this thing. And if you push this lid down, oh yeah, you could feel the suction down in here. Oh, that's nice. That might be my new go-to one. It's pretty small, so. All right, that wasn't too difficult. I'm not sure I'll ever have a reason to use the rotary slide attachment together, but let's go ahead and put a wood dowel in there and see how it works. Not sure how to proceed here. It's not letting me choose wood for this cylinder. You can see it right there. It's only gonna, let me see. That's the only thing it'll let me do, is wood. There's nothing else that'll let me do. I wonder why. That's weird. I'll figure it out. So I kind of figured it out. I had to do my own settings right there. So I did a wood one. But the fastest this will let me engrave is 250 millimeters a second, which is fairly slow. So we're going to see how this goes. Here are the results of the rotary slide attachment. All I did was put my name there. I attempted to do something larger, but it was taking too long, so I stopped and I just put my name in there. One last attachment to try, and that's the portable magnetic cone. Let's try it out. It looks really good, but man, that was tough holding that up. It's only 2.9 kilograms, but holy moly, that's tough. It's time for me to give you 5 pros and 5 cons. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the cons because I always like to leave you on a good note. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. The first con I had is about the sound it makes when you turn it on. It gets really loud. I'll show you right here. Don't know why they have it set up like that, but it kind of startled me. All right, I'm about to sound like a broken record. You've heard it on every one of my reviews on a Galvo laser. They're not meant for cutting. They cut at an angle when they cut off to the sides, so you don't want to use them for cutting. Galvo lasers are best for engraving. My third con has to do with the rotary slide. It was very, very slow going. It would only let me put in 250 millimeters a second. But the big thing is it didn't have any of the settings for wood in there. It only had the metal, so I had to put them in myself. The fourth con I have is with the magnetic cone. Every time I bumped it, it fell off. So I'd like to have something that can like click in and set itself. But the big thing is I understand that everybody wants a portable laser. I don't see a need for it, but this thing is still heavy. I had to sit there for 1 minute and 34 seconds and it got heavy. Now the con that I talk about with the rotary and the IR and the uncrisp letters, let's put that in perspective. I'm not going to use my IR on my tumblers. I'm going to use the blue light. It comes out a lot better for me. But I am going to use that IR 3 watt to engrave colored items onto stainless steel or to stainless steel cups or anything else. So although I'm going to put this in the con area, you got to use these laser, whether it's the IR or the blue laser, in perspective of what they're good for. That's it for the cons. Let's go ahead and get into the pros. And the first pro I have is all the settings. All the settings are in there when you're doing flat engraving, and I really like that. Along with having the array for the metal color engraving in there is fantastic, and then having an array test grid for the regular engraving. So that was really good. So my number 2 pro may sound a little vain, but this thing is gorgeous. That purple metal with the orange really pops, and I like it because it helps make my shop look a little bit better. If I'm taking it on an event somewhere, people look at it and they are just amazed at how cool it looks. The engraving on this thing is my number 3 pro. This thing engraves amazingly. I was very, very happy with it. I was very surprised that it engraved as well as it did. The next pro I have is the Rotary. Man, that thing hooked up. It did well. It engraved beautifully with the diode laser, so I was extremely happy with that. The next pro I have is about the materials this thing can process. It can do a wide range of materials, acrylic, leather, wood. It can engrave slate and all that. We're not talking about cutting. All we're going to talk about is engraving on that. And it did a great job having that wide berth of materials that it can use. That's my pros and my cons for this machine. The WeCreat Lumos. What do I think about it overall? I think it's a great machine. They really hit it out of the park on this one. It engraves well. It cuts easily. As I said before, these kind of galvo lasers really aren't meant for cutting. They're more for engraving, but it does great. And it takes it a little step further when you have the accessories for it. I'll tell you what, that air purifier does an amazing job. What great suction it has. Then you have the slide, and you can do multiple items with that, or you can just do one large sign with that. Adding the Rotary in there, the Rotary worked perfectly, and I didn't have any issues with it. Now, the IR laser with the Rotary didn't work that well, but the blue laser did a fantastic job, and you can use the blue laser for that. And finally, mixing the slide and the Rotary, I mean, like I said, I don't know how often I'll use that, but they're thinking forward. They're looking at more ways, more opportunities for us as creators to be able to make stuff. And that is always a home run in my book. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and share the video. We want as many people getting a chance to get a laser as possible. And until next video, stay cool.